in a twist that could send shockwaves through Raider Nation. The Las Vegas Raiders might be on the brink of a move that could redefine their future. Imagine this, a new face under center, a young quarterback with untapped potential, poised to bring a fresh spark to the silver and black. The NFL rumor mill is buzzing, and the latest chatter involves a potential trade with the Chicago Bears that could land the Raiders a new quarterback, Tyson Bagent. But is this just another off-season rumor, or could this be the game-changing move the Raiders need? Picture this scenario, a quarterback room brimming with potential and a bold strategy that could revolutionize the Raiders' offensive game plan. Could the Raiders be about to pull off a masterstroke, or is this just a mirage in the desert? Stick around as we dive deep into this intriguing possibility. And hey, if you're as passionate about the Raiders as we are, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and drop your thoughts in the comments below. The Las Vegas Raiders have long grappled with the elusive quest for a franchise quarterback. Derek Carr's departure left a void that Jimmy Garoppolo is now expected to fill. But questions linger. Is he the long-term answer? The Raiders' quarterback situation has been a topic of endless debate among fans and analysts alike, and for good reason. With Garoppolo's injury history and the lack of depth behind him, the Raiders find themselves in a precarious position. This uncertainty has opened the door to exploring alternative options, and that's where the Bears' backup quarterback, Tyson Bagent, enters the conversation. Adding Bagent to the mix could bring a new dynamic to the Raiders' quarterback room. While some might argue that Bagent is an unproven talent, others see him as a diamond in the rough, a player who just needs the right environment to shine. The Raiders have always been a team willing to take risks, and this potential trade could be the latest example of that boldness. But with great risk comes great reward, or potential disaster. The stakes are high, and the decision to pursue Bagent could have far-reaching implications for the team's future. As the Raiders weigh their options, the fan base is left to wonder, is this the right move? Could Bagent be the missing piece in the puzzle, or would this be another gamble that doesn't pay off? The idea of rotating quarterbacks, as some have suggested, adds another layer of complexity to an already intricate situation. But in the unpredictable world of the NFL, sometimes it's the boldest moves that yield the most surprising results. Tyson Bagent may not be a household name, but that doesn't mean he lacks potential. The former Shepherd University standout has been on the Bears roster, quietly learning the ropes of the NFL. His journey from a Division II program to the professional ranks is a testament to his work ethic and determination. But can he make the leap to become a starter or even a reliable backup for a team like the Raiders? That's the million-dollar question. Bagent's story is one of perseverance. Overlooked by many top programs, he made the most of his opportunities at Shepherd, setting records and catching the eye of NFL scouts. His arm strength, mobility, and football IQ are all qualities that the Raiders could find appealing. Yet, transitioning from college to the pros is a monumental challenge, and Bagent has yet to prove himself on the biggest stage. His limited experience in the NFL makes him a wild card, one that could either pay off handsomely or fizzle out under the bright lights of Las Vegas. The prospect of adding Bagent to the Raiders roster is intriguing, but it's also fraught with uncertainty. On one hand, he represents a fresh start and the possibility of unearthing a hidden gem. On the other, he could end up being just another name on the long list of quarterbacks who never quite made the cut. For the Raiders, the decision to trade for Bagent isn't just about his potential. It's about whether they're willing to roll the dice on an unproven talent in a league where mistakes are costly. Rumors in the NFL can spread like wildfire, igniting debates and fueling speculation. The idea of the Raiders trading for Tyson Bagent has certainly stirred the pot, but how much truth is there to this rumor? According to sources close to the team, this potential trade is more than just idle chatter. Ted Nguyen of The Athletic has suggested that a deal involving Bagent and a fourth-round pick could be in the works. But as with any trade, there are multiple factors at play. First and foremost, the Raiders' front office must determine whether Bagent is worth the investment. a fourth-round pick is valuable, and trading it away for a player with minimal NFL experience is a significant risk. Additionally, the Bears would need to be willing to part with Bagent, who they might see as a valuable backup or even a future starter. Negotiations could be complex, with both teams weighing the pros and cons of such a deal. For the Raiders, the decision to pursue Bagent might come down to their confidence in Garoppolo and the other quarterbacks currently on the roster. If they believe Bagent could be a valuable addition, they might pull the trigger on the trade. But if there are doubts about his ability to contribute immediately, they could decide to pass on the opportunity. Either way, the rumor has sparked plenty of discussions among Raiders fans, many of whom are eager to see how this situation unfolds. Should the Raiders go through with the trade for Tyson Bagent, it could have a significant impact on their offensive strategy. Bagent's skill set is different from that of Garoppolo, and incorporating him into the offense could open up new possibilities. Some analysts have even suggested that the Raiders might experiment with a rotational quarterback approach, where Bagent and the other backups share playing time. This would be a radical departure from traditional NFL strategies, but it's not entirely unprecedented. A rotational quarterback system could keep opposing defenses on their toes, as they wouldn't know what to expect from one quarter to the next. Bagent's mobility and ability to extend plays could complement Garoppolo's more traditional pocket passing style, giving the Raiders a versatile and unpredictable offense. However, implementing such a system would require careful planning and seamless execution. The coaching staff would need to ensure that both quarterbacks are fully prepared and comfortable with the strategy. Of course, the success of this approach would depend heavily on Bagent's ability to adapt to the NFL level. If he can rise to the occasion, the Raiders could find themselves with a dynamic and innovative offense that keeps them competitive in a tough AFC West. But if Bagent struggles, the experiment could backfire, leaving the team with more questions than answers. The potential trade for Bagent isn't just about acquiring a backup quarterback, it's about reimagining the Raiders' offensive identity. As with any major decision, the potential trade for Tyson Bagent has sparked a range of opinions among Raiders fans. Some are excited about the prospect of adding a young, talented quarterback to the roster, believing that he could be the key to future success. They see Bagent as a low-risk, high-reward player who could eventually develop into a reliable starter. For these fans, the trade represents an opportunity to invest in the future while also addressing the current quarterback depth concerns. On the other hand, there are those who are more skeptical. They worry that the Raiders are taking a gamble on a player with little proven experience, a move that could backfire if Bagent doesn't live up to expectations. These fans would prefer the team to focus on more established players or to continue developing the quarterbacks already on the roster. They see the potential trade as a distraction from the more pressing needs of the team, such as improving the offensive line or bolstering the defense. The debate among the fan base reflects the broader uncertainty surrounding the Raiders' future. With so much at stake, every decision made by the front office is scrutinized, and the potential trade for Bagent is no exception. Whether fans are for or against the move, there's no denying that it has added another layer of intrigue to an already eventful offseason. As the situation unfolds, Raiders Nation will be watching closely, eager to see how it all plays out. While much of the focus has been on how this potential trade could impact the Raiders, it's also important to consider what it means for the Chicago Bears. For the Bears, trading away Tyson Bagent could be seen as a strategic move to acquire more draft capital, which would help them continue building for the future. With Justin Fields established as the starter and other quarterbacks on the roster, the Bears might view Bagent as expendable, especially if they can gain a valuable draft pick in return. From Chicago's perspective, the trade could be a win-win. They would get a fourth-round pick, which could be used to address other areas of need on the team, while also giving Bagent a chance to compete for a more prominent role with the Raiders. It's a move that could help the Bears strengthen their roster and prepare for the long haul, while also doing right by a young player who might have a better opportunity to succeed elsewhere. However, the Bears must also weigh the potential downside of the trade. If Bagent turns out to be a hidden gem and excels with the Raiders, they might regret letting him go for a relatively modest return. On the other hand, if he struggles, the Bears might look back and feel they dodged a bullet by not investing further in his development. The decision to trade Bagent would ultimately come down to the Bears' assessment of his future potential and how it aligns with their long-term goals. For the Bears, the trade talks could be seen as an opportunity to capitalize on a player who has shown flashes of potential but remains unproven at the NFL level. It's a delicate balancing act, one that requires careful consideration of both immediate needs and future prospects. As negotiations progress, Chicago's front office will need to decide whether they believe Bagent has the potential to contribute to their team in the long run, or if they're better off securing additional draft assets and moving forward with their current quarterback depth chart. However, this approach also comes with significant risks. Rotating quarterbacks could disrupt the rhythm of the offense and lead to inconsistency. Players often thrive on continuity, and constantly switching quarterbacks could make it difficult to establish a cohesive game plan. Additionally, this strategy would require all the quarterbacks involved to set aside their egos and embrace a team-first mentality, which could be challenging in a position traditionally associated with leadership and individual accolades. The potential trade for Tyson Bagent is just one piece of a much larger puzzle for the Raiders. As they continue to rebuild and reshape their roster, the team's front office must keep the long-term vision in mind. This means not only addressing immediate needs, but also planning for the future, something that has been a challenge for the Raiders in recent years. The addition of a young quarterback like Bagent could be a step in the right direction, providing the team with a potential cornerstone for years to come. However, it's important to remember that building a successful NFL team requires more than just one player. The Raiders must also focus on strengthening other areas of the roster, such as the offensive line, defense, and receiving corps, to ensure that they're competitive in the tough AFC West. As the Raiders continue to navigate the complexities of roster construction, the potential trade for Bagent serves as a reminder of the delicate balance between short-term success and long-term sustainability. It's a decision that could have ripple effects throughout the organization, influencing not just the quarterback position, but the overall direction of the franchise. For Raiders fans, the hope is that this move, if it happens, will be a catalyst for a brighter future. A future where the silver and black are once again a force to be reckoned with in the NFL. As the rumors surrounding the potential trade for Tyson Bagent continue to swirl, one thing is clear: the Raiders are at a crossroads. The decision to pursue Bagent represents a significant moment for the franchise, one that could shape the team's fortunes for years to come. Whether this move leads to success or becomes another chapter in the Raiders' storied history of risk-taking remains to be seen. For Raiders fans, the anticipation is palpable. The prospect of adding a young, talented quarterback to the roster is exciting, but it's also fraught with uncertainty. As the team's front office weighs its options, fans are left to speculate on what the future holds. Will Bagent be the next great Raiders quarterback, or will this trade be remembered as a missed opportunity? Only time will tell. In the meantime, Raider Nation, it's your turn to weigh in. What do you think of the potential trade for Tyson Bagent? Do you believe he could be the key to unlocking the Raiders' potential, or should the team focus on other areas? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't